We have new video this morning of the tail end of an altercation between two members of Congress. Democrat Joyce Beatty says that Republican Hal Rogers poked her in the back and told her, quote, "Kiss my ass," after she asked him to wear a mask before boarding the U.S. Capitol subway system. The video was taken just after the incident.
I'm a member of Congress like you, and I'm a woman. You will not disrespect me. I will bring you up before ethics and everything else. But you picked the wrong one today.
This is the way Beatty described what happened. She wrote, "Today, while heading to the House floor for votes, I respectfully asked my colleague, Representative Hal Rogers, to put on a mask while boarding the train. He then poked my back, demanding I get on the train. When I asked him not to touch me, he responded, 'Kiss my ass.' This is the kind of disrespect we've been fighting for years and indicative of the larger issue we have with GOP members flaunting health and safety mandates designed to keep us and our staff safe." Joining us now is Joyce Beatty, Democratic Congresswoman from Ohio and chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. Chairwoman, thank you so much for being with us. What did that feel like in the moment?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on this morning. You know, it was insulting. It angered me that he would have the nerve to poke me in my back. That was bad enough. And when I asked him not to touch me, after asking him politely to put his mask on, he then told me to kiss his ass. And with that, I told him I would not be disrespected, that I was a colleague of his and I was a Black woman. And I wasn't going to be bullied by him. I actually told him he picked the wrong woman today because I was not going to be bullied, standing up for something that I thought was right, because there was a mandated sign on the train that tells you if you ride, you have to put your mask on. And so he chose to ride versus walk. We just the day before had stood out on the Capitol steps in respect and honor for some 900,000 people who have died because of COVID. So I was in my place because the sign said wear a mask to ride. And there's only 2 cars you can ride on because of COVID. They blocked off all of the other cars.
Were you surprised? He said what he said to you?
I was very surprised. To tell you the truth, I was very surprised because in asking him to put his mask on, please, for him to have that type of attitude is unacceptable. But we're in a hyper-partisan environment right now where people have gone rogue and they think they can say and do whatever they want to say. And I have no tolerance for bullying, and I also believe in civility. And that's why I think it's important for me to express that this is not acceptable.
So he did apologize. He wrote a statement that said, "This afternoon I met with Congresswoman Beatty to personally apologize. My words were not acceptable, and I expressed my regret to her first and foremost." Can you tell us what happened in that meeting?
Well, yes, what happened was I had gone to our leadership. I had also gone to the sergeant at arms, and I said, I'm demanding an apology. And so he did not come forth at first, and our leadership, Leader Steny Hoyer, went over and talked with some of his colleagues and their leadership and him, and they said he would come over and apologize. And so when he came to the floor to apologize, mind you, without a mask on, I stepped back. And as he reached out to touch my arm, I told him, don't touch me. And I moved back because he didn't have a mask on. And so with that, he mumbled some words. And I told leadership it wasn't acceptable. I wanted a public apology. And as Speaker Pelosi said, if you insult a high profile, you have to do a high profile apology. So I demanded a public apology. And that is when he publicly apologized. And I have accepted his public apology, and I'm moving on. But I won't stop standing up for what I believe in. And if you ride the train, then the message is you put a mask on or you walk.
So ultimately, you think the in-person apology combined with the public statement You're satisfied?
Well, I'm going to move on. We have so much work to do. And the real reality is there's not much more he can do. So I did accept the public apology. And I'm going to go on and continue to fight and stand up for all the things that we have to work on. And I'm hoping it's a lesson learned about this. But as we practice civility, someone has to be a leader, someone has to be an adult, and that's the role that I'm going to play. You know, we have so much work that we have to do. So as we look at voting rights, as we look at all of the great things that we have accomplished in this Congress, especially by our Democratic leadership, I think the American people would want me to continue fighting for them and not to continue to deal with Mr. Rogers.
I got to let you go here, but do you think he ever would have said this to you had you not been a Black woman?
Well, that's another issue. I absolutely have some concerns about that. And maybe the question is, had a Black man poked a white woman and then told her to kiss his blank blank, you tell me what you think would have happened.
Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, Madam Chairwoman, thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you.